All right, I want to welcome everybody to our leadership call. It's good to see the leaders that are here, and I will record this for those who couldn't be with us. I had several tell me they could not be here and wanted to get the information, so I'll record it for them. It'll be posted on teamofhope.com. I'll also put it up on Isagenix for Life and also Kwang Su's group, those couple places. Got a lot of things I want to cover now, but we're going to try to keep it brief as always, under 30 minutes. I've asked Diane to come on and explain to us the team builder bonus. I mentioned today that Eddie Vaklovic made 3 sales, 150 BV each. He had 2 more previously to that, so this is his fifth customer. And Diane said to him, congratulations, and he earned a team builder, what do you call it, Diane, a bonus? Team, I'll let her talk. So Diane, tell us what it is and how we earn it.
Actually, I'm going to read it to you because that would be... Is that better? Actually, I need my glasses too. Oop, I don't see them anywhere. Let me see if I can do this. All right. Enjoy your free product, a box of complete essentials with Isagenix, $140 value. To redeem your, that just tells you how to do it. But I know Eddie and Lisa have for sure received their team builder bonus, and I think Lena is one away from receiving one. Pam, did you? I was looking it up. I was trying to find if you had earned one. Did I tell you did, or
I did
get one away?
Bonus. It was not the Isagenix though. It was a free NYKO registration.
That's interesting.
I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah, because this is a team builder bonus. They extended it through, and I don't even see it on here. It was in that back office. I think it's through September, did I say, of 2018. When you enroll 5 new preferred customers, you receive a team builder club coupon, and that entitles you to 1 complete essentials with Isagenix vitamins. And then when you enroll another 5, you get another box. And I need to go back. I thought that's what I had printed out. I'm pretty sure that if you do it within 1 month, it seemed like there was something special. But I think I'm going to have to do a little more research on it. But when you get a Team Builder Club bonus, you actually are eligible for a free box of complete essentials with Isagenix. And the way that you redeem that is when you're placing an order, just click on View Coupons, and it'll come up in the back showing you that you've earned a team builder bonus, and it entitles you to a free box of complete essentials with Isagenix. So the way that I've done it is I actually put it in my cart, and then I go into the coupons and I click on apply coupon, and then it takes it off the total, so you don't pay anything for that. So I'll get a little more information on that. Be a little better for the next time. Okay.
You had, go ahead and mute yourself. I'll mute you. Okay. You had a sheet or something that you showed me the other day. Can you get that so we can put up on teamofhope.com? All right. I'd like to see that on teamofhope.com. So please send that to me. So that is something that's just there for you. Like Eddie had no idea he was going to get $140 worth of free vitamins. But it's a great way for someone who's becoming a leader to get exposed to those phenomenal products if you're not already taking them. So Stan, I asked you to come on tonight and kind of put in a plug for the Healthy Happy Hour. And I want to really encourage people to promote that and use that, because this really is a mission we're on. The more we learn about this, the more we realize our nutrition is depleted, the toxins are everywhere, and we have the solution. And so I really like what you're doing on the Healthy Happy Hour. You know, you and I talked about some things just to fine tune just a little bit today, and I know that's going to help. So why don't you share with the other leaders that are here and those who will be listening to the recording and encourage them to join us every day, Monday through Saturday.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Chuck. And I appreciate Pam and all of your feedback when I say something wrong, because one of the things about what we're doing with the Healthy Happy Hour, and it got birthed. It was an idea that was just collaborated with V and Chuck, and then we had a guest, Pete Hamby, that happened to be there, and that's how this whole thing started. I was thinking about doing it anyway for my people, but then we opened it up for everybody to be able to get this information. And what I'm really trying to do is I do a lot of research when I put the Healthy Happy Hour together. There's sometimes 2, 3, 4 hours, depending on what I'm doing. It's kind of like I'm putting a sermon together every day, because what I'm really trying to do is help our people get the good information and information that can help them. And I'm trying to keep it, sometimes it's hard because, you know, I want to try to explain it a particular way. And so what I'm trying to do is keep it simple for people to really get. And Pam, I appreciate it, because when you caught me the other day on the word glutathione instead of glutathione, one is an amino acid and one is a antioxidant, which is the master antioxidant of the body. And those are all good things. You know, when you guys hear me,
Stan,
yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but Pam, I was just about to tell him that before you did. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Good one, Chuck. But anyway, I think this is really important for you guys. If you hear me say something that just doesn't feel right, you got to bring it to my attention, because here's what happens when I'm out here. And John, you've done this a couple of times, and I encourage everybody. I am very humble to be here to be able to help us and give this information to everybody. But what we have to be is we have to be compliant. We also, Chuck brought some things to my attention that I tendency when, you know, I get excited or I get enthusiastic with what I'm saying. I know that these things are curing the human body. I'm just going to tell you that straight up. There's so many different things that we have found in nutrition and vitamins and herbs and seasonings and salts and the biosalts to the human body that we can actually cure things. But for compliance reasons, and I just listened, Chuck brought to my attention about the John Anderson, his son Paul, that was actually doing the video, or that Quan Su had, you know, used and shared the information from. If you haven't seen it, go to that. It's on Isagenix for Life. Go watch it. I just watched it twice since Chuck and I talked, and I watched it back to back. And the material that he's saying is, every time he says something, he says, now I can't say this, I'd like to, but it's got to be compliant. And I'd really like to say this, but it has to be compliant, because what we want, or what I would like, and Chuck and I talked about this earlier, is I want this to be something that we can continue for our teams to feel confident that you can send this out to all your team players, and then they can share it as well. And if we're not making sure that we're mindful, you know, I need your help too to keep me in check. Everybody needs somebody to keep them in check. So I really am asking you as a team, and also as we do this and stay compliant, I'll keep the political comments. That was just actually a joke, but I think that got pulled into things. I'll keep the cures out. Here's what we can say for all intents and purposes with what we do with nutrition is we can reverse and we can prevent. We can replace and we can replenish, but we can't cure. So when we're using these words, I too sometimes become overzealous because I'm excited about something, but we can use reverse, prevent, replace, and replenish. Those are okay based on the FDA standards. So therefore, they're also okay based on compliance for Isagenix. And that's what Paul Anderson was talking about in his video about the different types of things that you can say for compliancy. So I hope that everybody's enjoying it. If you guys have topics that you're hearing out in the street that you would like me to dig into and reference a little more, it's like I tell Chuck and V all the time. If somebody doesn't ask me a question, sometimes I'm talking to this video, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm trying to pretend like I'm actually sitting in front of all of you, and you guys are yelling out questions like saying, hey, how about this? How about that? When you start doing that to me, because of 25 years of accumulation, what happens is it just comes out. But when I'm trying to prepare things, so that's why I really count on people's questions and people's information. That's why also we as leaders have to stay on the street, because what you're going to hear on the street, you need to bring some of that feedback back to me so that I can address those things. Like, okay, V said one time about organic and that the company is not all organic. Well, you know why it can't be all organic? Because the company's testing for the verification of purity. And if those organic items still don't meet the purity level, Isagenix won't take it. So there's reasons why we have to say certain things, and we have to explain that. Now, I've been talking about undenatured whey versus denatured whey. Most people don't even know what that is. See, when you're taking denatured whey, it doesn't absorb. You're just taking a lot of bulk. So those people that are buying products off the shelves. So Chuck and I talked about this today about having value and really explaining to our teams what we have with Isagenix. I did some research today, and a lot of these, and I'll bring this up again tomorrow. Chuck asked me to cover some of this too, but I did a ton of research, 3 hours worth of research today, digging into other companies that I've been watching fail over the last 12 months to a year. Now, to 2 years now. I don't revel in people failing, but I want to see why they're failing. And if it was what I predicted would happen because they didn't have the good nutrients and good ingredients, therefore the people that were using these products didn't get the results. And that came true. It panned out to be true. So you got companies like It Works is falling fast on its face. You got Visalis that is just being crushed right now by the public because it's not the fact that they not only did they not have good ingredients, but they had denatured whey in there, but they also had a lot of soy in their products, and soy is terrible for the human body. And when we get into some of those things, you hear me once in a while just say, well, soy is not good for you, stay away from it. But what it really does to you is very damaging. So when we start thinking about what we have as a value here, it's unbelievable. What we have to do though is answer public questions. Why do that's why I spent a lot of time this week on why do I need supplements? Because people say that all the time. I'm healthy. I'm not sick. I haven't been sick. Why do I need supplements? Well, because what happens when something breaks? Plus, the body can only sustain itself for so long and keep stealing its minerals from itself so long, and then things start to deteriorate. I'm meeting more 30 and 40-year-old people today that are dealing with arthritis and because of calcium deficiencies, these mineral deficiencies, and it's also because of nobody's detoxifying. And when I brought this up with Chuck, we were talking about it today and a couple times in the past. The 3 reasons that people fail with Isagenix, and I was amazed. But the number one reason is they fail their cleanse. The number one reason is they fail cleanse. And the reason they're failing cleanse, you know why? Even Paul Anderson talked about it in that video like 3 different times. If you're not giving the chocolate with the on cleanse day, you're doing your person a disservice, because the chemical that creates in the brain is the endorphins that it creates is actually bridging the gap from meal to meal. So once the brain stops thinking that it's hungry, the body stops thinking it's hungry. So if we're not getting that into our meal plans, into the situation, and then something else I want to share with you as leaders that I have done, and Chuck and I are going to refine this process for all of us. Lisa and I are doing the study on it right now, and right now I'm batting 1,000% on the people that we're doing the questionnaire with and converting them to customers and building those customers right into a meal plan. Now, I have an auto setup meal plan that all of us can be using, but we're working on some things so that we can make sure that this is duplicatable. And Chuck and I want to make sure that I know that here's what I'm excited about. I have experience in this industry, just a couple of years. Lisa doesn't have as much. She knows about as much about cars as I do about the body. And she just has, well, Diane said it, but she's closing people because of the questionnaire. So I know the questionnaire is working for Lisa. And then what she does is she uses me as a reference, which is what you guys should be doing with that healthy happy hour. Plus, you guys are part of my team. All of you I've welcomed in, to texting me, to emailing me, to because this helps build what? It helps build the ammunition. See, this is the notes here. There's 42 pages of notes for Monday's program. So those comments that you make then help me build stuff for the people, because if you're having these questions or concerns or ideas, then guess what it does for me? It helps me build ammunition for our other team players to get that into them. Is that what you were looking for, Chuck? I mean, that's what the team's looking for. That's what we're looking for. That's what, people are looking for, is they're looking for ways to guide people. Now, I'm working right now, V's working with helping Mike Jones with the school, and we're putting a system together, working on that. But in the meantime, I've been working with the Mineral Area College in Farmington, which is just about 45 minutes south of where I'm at. And they right now with that, they have 20 cadets, and all 20 cadets are getting into the system to buy the products, even if it's 2 canisters of shake and 1 thing of cleanse or whatever. They're all getting their own account set up. But here's the cool part. 7 of them this week are going on the Isabody Challenge, because it fits right into the 16-week program that we were doing as a competition for the cadets. So these are things that are real important, and Lisa's really pushing that 16-week program. With that 16-week, when you advertise that 16-week program, that is so easily supported by the system. But make sure, again, that when you put them into the package deal, whatever it is, get those ISO delights with the cleanse. Okay.
Stan, that was awesome. I want to encourage everybody to really reach out to your teams, reach out to people, and really promote Monday night's Zoom call. It's a Cepeda Zoom call. I'm going to have Kwang Soo as my first guest. Kwang Soo is going to talk about the Paul Anderson testing, and he's going to talk about the difference between messed up cows and healthy cows, and why Isagenix is so important. When he's finished with his story and his testimony, it's going to be awesome. Stan's going to come on and build on what Kwang Soo talks about, and then he's going to go through the products real quickly. And then Stan and I are going to do something a little unique, in that we're going to really go through some of the different competitors, and Stan's going to explain why we're different. Herb Cepeda does a great job of that when it comes to compensation plans, but Stan's going to break it down for us on why Isagenix is different from some of these other nutrition companies. We really, when you boil it all down, we have no competition when you look at a whole package, and people are going to realize that at the end of this call. So I really want to encourage you to promote that call big time. Stan, I want to ask you a couple things. First of all, you will send me that questionnaire once you get, you and Lisa, you said you're doing a little fine tuning. So I've got your original one. If you give me the fine tuned one, I'll put that up on Team of Hope.
Well, I think the one you have is the one that we were using for the football.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a little different than the original one. So I'll send you one when we get off this call here that you can let everybody start using. That's the one that's been working, that asks questions like, can I just read a few of them to everybody?
Yeah, go ahead. This is
right?
Great information.
Okay, how soon are you looking to start your plan? That's number 1. What's your age? What's your current weight? What medications are you on? And this is all broke into a format, so you don't have to write this down if you don't want, because we'll make it available to you. Food allergies. What do you have? Any food allergies? Current supplement dosage, protein and vitamins. How much are you currently spending on your supplements? Because, see, now we're trying to zero them in to see how much we could guide them or what we're going to have to increase them by. This particular customer is buying $460 worth of supplements. I'm reading it right off his sheet right here. $460 worth of supplements, and he can't lose weight. He's been trying. So when you start asking these questions, they'll tell you everything. All of a sudden, it'll be like a dump truck. They just start telling you stuff that they wouldn't have told you before. And I've been emailing them this. Don't ask them the questions. I email it and expect them. I say, can I expect that back in a couple of days? Because I'm very busy. If you want me to get this system together for you, then what I do is I take all the information, I put it all together, and then it's like giving them a proposal. Here's what I got: A, B, C. I got plan A, B, or C. Which one would you like to start? Which one fits your budget the best? Based on what you told me, you could do A, but which one do you think you would like to do? Does that make sense? So the list goes on. What are you purchasing now for your food? What's your monthly financial limit? Have you ever been in a challenge before? Would you like to be in a challenge? Have you ever done any bodybuilding? Would you like to be in bodybuilding? How many times do you eat a day? What is the type of meals that you eat? Are you training? How many times a week do you train? What gym do you go to? Is the gym in your home or is it at a separate location? Do you work out alone or with someone? Because what am I trying to create? A support system. If they're not training with somebody, what's one of the things I'm going to recommend is that they start training with somebody. So then they're following this system together, and what better than your husband and your wife or whatever your situation is, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Just a couple more here real quick. What time of the day do you train? Because that all plays a major factor. I know some of you are training later at night. Some of you train earlier in the day. But it does play a major factor in how your body metabolizes. And I'll teach you and share some of that information with you. Have you ever, these are the final ones, and Lisa loves these. Have you ever failed at reaching your goal with your body, with your weight, or with your body before? And guess what everybody says? This one has on it, yes, 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 yes. So how many times did you think she's tried other programs? As many yeses as that there were on there, you know, which is good information for us to have. This lady is one of the ladies that called Lisa by a conversation and just went right on to the 30-day program just because of what Lisa was working with her on. And what previous have you done to support, you know, your system, and are you willing to do whatever it takes? So these are the three questions that Lisa really loves. You know, people have to know, are they willing to do whatever it takes, or otherwise don't really waste your time. And you can play this out your own way. But if people are going to just get on the program and they're going to play with it, then to me, they're just a customer, because they're just playing with the products. Now, here's one statistic that I heard come from Kwang Soo that really caught my ear because I listened for this stuff. The average millionaire with Isagenix was a customer for 3 years before they built the business. Think about that. That's why it's important for us to get these people hooked, get them into this system, and then just keep working with them. Why? Once they get results, I'm telling you this, I've been in this business for a long time. You get people results, they're hooked. They're not going to leave you.
That's good, Stan. Very good information. Let me piggyback on that just a little bit. I think this will help everybody. I think I mentioned this to Versal yesterday in our mastermind meeting. But basically, Lena brought a prospect to me via three-way call. Congratulations, Lena, for number one, doing the work, and number two, properly using the three-way call. And so as we were doing the three-way call, I was doing my normal interview. Now, let me just show you. I've always got my notebook in front of me, those of you that know me. But in the middle of my notebook, I've got the notes for my three-way question. So you can expect a very consistent three-way call from me. I'm going to go through these notes. One of the things I learned by listening to a recording Diana was listening to is not only do I want to ask them what their goal is, which I've always done, you know, what do you want to do? Gain weight, lose weight? What do you want to do? When this lady said, I want to lose weight, because I listened to that call, I understood to take it a little farther and find out the emotional why, not just the big, you know, goal. And so I asked her, why do you want to lose weight? Is there a big event coming up or something? And then she told Lynn and I that she had some kind of special event coming up in like May. Changed the whole dynamics of the call. It went from us trying to sell her something to us trying to serve her and help her achieve that goal. And she made the decision. You know, we gave her the options, the Ultimate Pack, the Value Pack, the 30-day weight loss system. She made the decision that the Value Pack would be the best for her based on her seriously wanting to achieve her goal. So, Lynn, I just want to really congratulate you on that. Also, Pam, congratulations right out of NYKO. You sold your first Value Pack. So both you ladies, kudos and great job. Stan, I know you and Lisa are getting real close to getting your $200 bonus for having 5 sales between January 1st and February 4th. I want to congratulate you two. And so a lot of good stuff going on. let me get back to my notes here. All right. Question, you're going to get that to me. There's a February frenzy going on right now where the corporate staff is going to 50 cities around America in February. One of those cities happens to be Kansas City next Thursday night. I know Versal, Mike Shaw, and myself are going, and we're going to bring 3 guests. I just want you encouraged to look on the website for the February Frenzy and see if there's a city near you. I know Indianapolis is on there. I'm not sure about Chicago. I would think Chicago would be on there, but you just got to check to see if it's sold out. It's no cost, but you do have to get a ticket. So you go to Eventbrite and get a ticket, and you can bring a guest. But I encourage you to take advantage of it if you can.
Yeah, I think they said Chicago might have been sold out already.
Yeah, it might be. I think Kansas City might be sold. Once I heard you and Mike Jones were coming, tickets went fast.
Where do you look under the event?
ISA FYI should have it. One of us will look it up real quick and put the link in here. But I think ISA FYI has it. Somebody look it up, would you?
And Stan, I have one question about the cleanse. You must have that chocolate with the cleanse, or if you're doing okay without it, you can do it without it.
Yeah, but and I've heard this many times, and I know that Chuck loves the cleanse, and Diane used the cleanse with the chocolate delight, and they love it. But one of the reasons you have to understand why it works so good for people is that it's dealing with the chemical in your brain that causes you to not be hungry. So therefore, if you're having challenges, bridging that gap, what they're recommending is, and Paul Anderson, which is John Anderson's son, he said that it's not son?
No, I thought so, but it's not.
Oh, I thought so too. Okay, I stand corrected. But he was saying in the video that, and I've heard this many times, but it was good to hear it from him, is that he would be doing a disservice to the normal person not to recommend the cleanse with the Isa Delight as part of their package. He says what most people do is they make the mistake, and they say, after they sold the person the package, then they say, well, would you like to add the Isa Delights? And he said, well, how can you, what if that person's never been on a cleanse before, doesn't know anything about it? Where is that person able to make that kind of decision? You should just make the decision for them to make their process more successful. Now, I understand that, because Isagenix, number one thing that they deal with on an overall company, and I know why they're saying this, is because most people quit because they failed the cleanse. I'll tell you my first personal experience, I almost fell on the floor the first day I did a cleanse because I was so weak by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like a big baby. I looked over at Lisa and I said, I'm not going to make it because I'm used to eating like 6 times a day. I said, Lisa, I don't know about you, but my hands were shaking. I was sweating. I mean, I was like, so.
Yeah, I can go without nothing, just a liquid. That's it.
Well, that's good. But what Paul was saying, and I would recommend the same thing now that I know this, is I would always recommend that should be part of somebody's program because if I was going to have to do that every time what I first did, now I grit my teeth the second time and I made it, but I was like, whew, we made it. Let's get out of this day, get rid of this day. Then by the 3rd and 4th time that I did it, I was better. Now I'm going to do it again this week, and I haven't done it for a while because I'm down to 235 pounds. Because I've been doing some things on purpose because I'm working with people and I want to show them the vascularity that happens in this process. I'm really trying to squeeze my abs in and I'm trying to do something. So I'm going to do that with the cleanse, and I'll teach you guys some things about the cleanse that I know, but some of the things from a leadership level, you don't want to duplicate some of these things unless people's system is completely nourished up. I mean, on a continuous basis. I'm talking about that they're on the vitamins, that they're on the Onyx Supreme, they're taking their shakes. You can't do some of these tricks that I know how to do unless you got people at full capacity. Does that make sense? But that cleanse that we have is absolutely phenomenal. It's beautiful.
All right, I'm going to wrap up with this training. I'm going to do a complete training on this in a week or two, so I'm not going to go through the details tonight. But I did want to get to the January Jolt because we're in the final week of the January Jolt. You have one full week to participate in this, and this applies to our team in the UK and here in the United States and Canada, of course. But you'll see it started January 1st, and it runs through Sunday, February 4th. That's exactly 1 week from tonight. So you have until next Sunday night to participate in this bonus. And you might be sitting there and not have any enrollments yet. I helped 12 customers get started in December. January, I've been shut out. I've not enrolled any new customers in January. So I'm going for 12 this final week. Now, you might be farther along than me. You might have some sales under your belt already. But I want to encourage everybody to go for the January Jolt. If it's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever number you end up with, or 12, go for it. It's worth it. With the double PIB and everything that's there, it's just you can really have a really, really good week to launch your February. So it's pretty self-explanatory. If you get 5 customers, 150 BV or more during that time frame, you get an extra $200 bonus on top of the normal compensation plan. 8 new customers, $500 bonus. 12 new customers, $1,000 bonus. And I know we're going to have some people on our team earn these bonuses. My question is, why not you? And so I want to encourage everybody to go for it. So again, I'm going to go through the rest of these slides at a different time, but you can see there's some great things about here on building your list. You got to have a strong list, ladies and gentlemen. And then there's some warm-up messages. If any of you would like this little PowerPoint presentation I found, feel free to ask for it. Email me, and I'll pop it right back to you. Better yet, send me a message on Facebook. I can do it easier there. I can just send it right back to you, no problem. But there's some great connecting questions. And once the January Jolt's over, I'll take that little slide out. But for now, that was relevant. Again, we'll do a whole thing on this. And also, if you're selling the value pack, you're doing the customer a great service. And that includes the ice lights. It includes some snacks. It includes 2 coupons so they can get their 2 accountability partners in the program with them. So a lot of value there. So again, I kind of rushed through that, but I hope you got the idea. And like I said, that presentation is available if you want it. I'll also try to work that in next Sunday night to where I spend a little more time on that particular topic because I think that's a really, really important topic. Any questions, comments before we wrap up here tonight? I went to a B&I meeting this past Thursday as a guest. And so I want to encourage you to, when you're connected and looking to make contacts, look for networking opportunities. B&I is a good one. When you find somebody in B&I, they are responsible to have someone there to substitute for them if they can't be there some week. They're also highly pressured to bring guests. And so they're going to want to bring you as a guest. And so there was a guy in that group who was already in Juice Plus. And that'll be one of the companies I have Stan talk about tomorrow night and explain some of the differences and why we're 100 times better than Juice Plus. But the guy's in the group, so it's kind of his group. It's limited to 1 per occupation. But I still got to come and give my story. So one of the things I said is that I personally will be expanding big time into the Korea this year. Does anybody know anybody who knows Koreans? One of the guys after the meeting comes up to me, and first of all, they give me this list of all their names, all their emails, all their phone numbers. And so instantly I've got about 20 new contacts. In the group, I've got about 6 of them that are really good contacts. One of which is the guy who comes up to me and says, I know lots of people that know Koreans. Let's get together. And so you just never know what's going to happen if you don't get out there and put yourself in situations where you can meet people. So I just want to encourage you, find somebody who's in B&I, tell them you're willing to sub for them or you're willing to come as a guest. If they ever have any contests or anything and they need a guest, you're more than willing to come and you'll be surprised. Now, I will tell you, if you come as a guest, they're going to try to get you to join the group, obviously, and then you need to make a business decision if that's good for you or not. Personally, I have not found the right group at the right time yet, but I am looking now because I think BNI is a great way to get massive exposure, especially in a big city like St. Louis or Detroit or Chicago, because once you're in the BNI network, you can visit all the other groups. You've got an open ticket really to visit all the groups and tell everybody what you do. So it's a great way to meet a lot of people. So with that, have a great week, everybody. Make it your week. Get a January Jolt bonus. They put money on the table for us. Let's go out and get some. God bless you. Good night, everybody.